Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today for you guys is another Star Wars review. Today we're tackling The Mandalorian, Chapter 7 and 8. Before we get started, if you can see this, I'm wearing my Mandalorian shirt thing, sweatshirt. Looks pretty freaking cool. Hopefully you can see that. If not, whatever. But anyway, so I'm short. What can I do? So anyway, with this going forward, this is of course the conclusion of The Mandalorian Season 1. So if you have not seen 7 and 8, I don't know why you haven't, because then you would see 1 through 6, but whatever, just don't watch this. Go watch those and then watch this review, because there will be spoilers. But yeah, Chapter 7 really is just about trying to, the Mandalorian kind of gets a call from Grief Karga, whatever, and he's like, hey look, we'll strike a deal. Moff Gideon's going to be here, so we're going to do all this thing. We're going to, exchange the baby, have like a little, switcheroo, and it'll all be great, right? And, of course, it doesn't go great because they get attacked by some Mynock-like creatures. And then, of course, Disney's marketing is freaking top-notch. And why is it top-notch? Well, because, essentially, when I think it was the 19th or the 18th, 1 or 2 days before The Rise of Skywalker came out, because that came out the 20th, legally, I guess, came out on the 20th. There's a scene, again with spoilers, where Grief Karga gets destroyed, he gets half destroyed, I guess, by a Mynock-type creature, that winged pterodon-looking thing, and Baby Yoda heals him. Right, he takes his arm and he goes, he doesn't make that sound, but he heals him, and everyone's like, oh, that's so cute, it's awesome, great, yay! And then in The Rise of Skywalker, spoilers, when Rey heals that serpent thing, and then, of course, later heals Ben Solo, or Kylo Ren, everyone had a hissy fit. Of course, why did everyone have a hissy fit? Well, because of the haters. They just have to hate everything Star Wars. If it's not The Mandalorian, it sucks. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. Now, me personally, I love The Mandalorian, so I don't have an issue with it. And I also love everything Star Wars has been doing in the past bunch of years, so I don't have an issue with that at all. And really, Rey has all the powers of the Jedi. All the 1,000 whatever generations live in her, so that's exactly why. Anyone can do it with the Force. It's not books, blah, blah. You get the whole thing, hopefully. I'm not going to sit here and explain all that. But that happens. Yoda heals Grief, and then, they go on from there. And, of course, it ends with, what's his name? The Ugnaught. Queef. Not Queef. Queel. That's it. Queel. Like a writing quill. Not the other thing. So, yeah, Queel dies. And which is very, very friggin' sad, because I really like Queel. I thought he was a good character. You didn't really see a lot of Ugnaughts, except for on Cloud City and Bespin, so it is really cool to see. And of course, the stormtroopers on the 2 speeder bikes capture Baby Yoda, and the episode ends in disbelief and despair and awesomeness. And I really enjoyed the episode. I have no issues with it. I'm going to give Chapter 7 an A+, or a 10 out of 10. I don't have any issues with it. Again, CGI is great, acting is great, plot's great, leaves you on the edge of your seat. Bunch of cool stuff happens. Oh, one more thing. We also see IG-11, voiced by Taika Waititi. He seems to be everywhere nowadays, too, like Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. But still, it is still pretty cool to see, nonetheless. To see him kind of become a nursing droid and a little bit more comedic. There's a bit of a, it's a comedic, funny little montage where, Queel is teaching him how to, carry things, and he's dropping the cup, and he destroyed one of those rat things. It's all funny stuff. So again, I think that the Disney movies and the Mandalorian show, and Rebels really captures the spirit of, serious storytelling, but also having light comedic moments. So it is really cool. Now, of course, that brings us on to Chapter 8, the final episode of Season 1. Of course, it is 8 episodes or 8 chapters. Season 2, I believe, is going to be coming out this year. It is 2020. I believe in June or July, something like that. Season 1 came out November 12th. The same day as when Disney Plus launched, at least in the U.S. So it should be pretty cool to see a second season, which is already confirmed if you haven't found out. There are some other people, before I get into my Chapter 8, they're saying that Boba Fett might come back. I thought Boba Fett was in this one, and I lost my crap, and then I'm like, oh, they're all freaking green. They all have freaking jetpacks. Gosh darn it. You don't know how mad I was, because I know it's canon that Boba Fett survives the Sarlacc. I need to see it to believe it. I need to read it. I don't know where it is. So if you know, like in canon, like a comic or a novel or something where he does get out of that, please tell me. I'd love to know. I'd love to read it or check it out. Because again, everyone's been telling me, oh, he survives. But I don't have any proof that in canon that he does. So if you have any proof in canon that Boba Fett lives with the Sarlacc, please tell me. Because again, I'd love to know. But going forward with the, what is it? I did think it was really cool how, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it's just all weird stuff. But going back to this episode, they do something really, and Taika Waititi directs this, but oh my god, dude. I have a few issues with this episode. One being, it's a little funny. I think that the beginning scene with the two scout troopers is really funny, but I think it goes on a little bit too long because the show has really serious moments and bright, light comedic moments. But to have like a whole scene devoted to how they can't shoot straight, and it's all great stuff. But I just think that it maybe goes on for a little bit too long, and that is of course the aftermath of Taika Waititi, who's a comedian, I guess, doing that kind of shtick, if you will. So it is what it is. It just lasts a little bit too long. But other than that, we find out the Mandalorian's real name. Again, spoiler alert, it is Din Djarin something. Din Djarin. Damn it, I just had it. I looked it up. Din Djarin or Din Djarin or something like that. They say it very briefly, and of course when they say it, you can't even understand what the heck you're saying. And I don't think it was in the credits. But still, the Mandalorian, we find out his real name, which is pretty cool. And we also get to see his face. I wasn't expecting much. I mean, if you were expecting like a freaking, Jar Jar Binks Gungan dude, like they referenced in another episode, that wouldn't have worked. We see his face, and if you've seen Kingsman: The Golden Circle, or anything else that Pedro Pascal has been in, you'll know what he looks like. He's a rootin' tootin' cowboy looking kind of guy. And he looks like, I mean, the Mandalorian kind of is put together like a spaghetti western thing with the, the music and all that stuff. So it is put together like that. But seeing his face, I wasn't like, oh my god, I was just like, it looks like Pedro Pascal, big whoop, you know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know. Me personally, like I said, I wasn't expecting like Snoke or another Yoda or something crazy, Mace Windu, something weird. My one uncle's like, oh, it'll be a girl, and I'm like, that'd be the big F you, but it wasn't. Thank God it was a dude. That just wouldn't work. So yeah, like I said, nothing too bad, nothing too crazy about the face reveal, but still it's pretty cool. Of course, he gets blown up and beat up a lot, as he normally does. We turned out that he's not, the Mandalorian we all know is not actually a species, it's more like a tribe or like a community type thing. And, what's his face? The client dies in episode 7, so they're trying to deal with the aftermath of that. And that's basically it. I mean, they're just trying to, Moff Gideon is there kind of, shooting them down, and Cara Dune and, what's his face, the other dude, he's in there, I just have all these names, it's crazy. Just from seeing Spies in Disguise, I don't want to say Lance Sterling when I say freaking Grief Karga or something like that, so it's crazy. Franchise overload. But going forward, I do think that this is a good episode. Again, it's a little bit comedic, that scene lasts a little bit too long, and I love the scene. But like I said, too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, and I think it lasted a little bit too long. And that's just, like I said, a side effect of Taika Waititi directing, because he's a comedian. And then the scene where they kind of explore, Din's like, past, and he's a little baby, and he goes like this. Me personally, I'm not going to dock this. Okay, I'll dock it, it's just kind of weird. But the scene where he goes like this, he's like, Mommy, like that. It's tense, and it's, a good scene. But it just looks corny to me. I don't know why. It always was in the very beginning, and when they keep going back to it, just him going like this, reaching for the sky, reach for the sky, you know what I mean, like that. It just looks corny. And that's probably what any little kid would do. It's probably what I would do, or this guy, or anyone in the world. They reach up for their mom and dad. But it just, I don't know, it just looked corny to me. So small little point there, just very small little point. Probably half a point, whatever, if you're being technical about it. But that overall scene, however, showing what happens with the battle droids and how the Mandalorians rescue him and take him in, I do think that it lasts too long as well. Because, really, it's just a pacing issue. Everyone had an issue in The Last Jedi with the pacing. I didn't. If you do, whatever, that's your opinion. I did not. However, the pacing in this one goes from, like, they're stuck in this bunker with Moff Gideon shooting them down, and then all of a sudden, it goes from, like, a 2-minute flashback, or 3-minute flashback into the Din's, origin, the Mandalorian's origin. And it's like, I care, and this is endearing, and it's cool, and it's great history, and it's great lore and all that, great canon. But at the same time, it just lasts too long. From a technical standpoint, the joke part with the scout troopers lasts too long, and so does this. But other than that, and of course this scene, really nothing to hate. I do think that this was a great finale, a really cool climactic battle between the Mandalorian and Moff Gideon takes place in a TIE fighter. We all think he's dead, and boom, drama bomb. I hate that word, I don't know why I said that. Bombshell dropped. We find out that he is alive, Moff Gideon is alive, and of course he uses the dark saber. from pre-Vizsla, from the Clone Wars era. So I don't know how we got it. We'll probably find that out in Season 2. But this is cool. You know, I accidentally got spoiled on the internet because F me, because haters, not haters, because, you know, leakers and these jerks have to post things on the internet. If you do that, don't do that. No one likes that. But, again, this Darksaber is used, and it's really cool to see, you know, a Lothcat from Rebels in an earlier episode, and, you know, and then, of course, a Darksaber in this one from the Clone Wars show. So it is really cool to see all these different ties and connections to the previous canon being, you know, in this one. And a lot of people are saying that Darth Maul, this is what I was going to say, Darth Maul is going to be in Season 2, and correct me if I'm wrong, but The Mandalorian takes place right after Return of the Jedi, if I'm not mistaken, because the Imperials and the Empire is kind of dead, and there's just a few of them left, I would think. And Darth Maul died in Rebels right before A New Hope starts. So, Darth Maul's dead, and he can't come back because he's a Sith. So that doesn't make any sense. And again, unless I'm wrong, unless The Mandalorian takes place, like, before A New Hope, I swear to God, though, it takes place after Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. They even mention that the Imperials are dying, you know. Maybe, again, maybe I'm wrong, who knows. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please correct me. Just don't be rude about it. Just tell me, hey, you're wrong, it's this. But I swear to Beavis, it is literally right after Return of the Jedi, because, again, Darth Maul dies way before that. So, I don't know. Maybe the internet's stupid, or maybe I'm stupid. It's probably the internet, but the internet's normally stupid. But anyway, please tell me what you thought in the comments below. Again, avoid spoilers in the comments, because I do know some people, I do this, you probably do this too, some people just watch videos for the comments before they watch the video. So, again, just avoid spoilers in the comments. Even though I talked about spoilers in the video, again, you get my drift. Hope you guys enjoyed this big series of The Mandalorian. Sorry it took me so long, but I still have it all done. So, again, this was 7 and 8 and 1. Again, the first one, A+, 10 out of 10. The second one, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. Just a few of these. This scene is very, very minimal. And then, of course, the two scenes that last a little bit too long kind of takes you out of it. Even though it's necessary, they probably could have done something better with that. Anyway, guys, I'm extremely friggin' excited for not only the Kenobi show, the Cassian Andor show, you know, the Clone Wars Season 7, and, of course, the Mandalorian Season 2 coming out this year on Disney+. I'm pretty sure the Clone Wars Season 7 as well is coming out on Disney+ as well. I thought it was Netflix, but I think it is Disney+ as well. So, again, no spoilers, but spoiler-free. Please tell me what you think about the Mandalorian show altogether in the comments. And what's your favorite show? The Clone Wars, Rebels, Resistance, or The Mandalorian? Thank you guys. May the Force be with you, and we'll see you guys in the next video.